What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Day Trade with Zay. This is the trade breakdown for today, Thursday, January 20th, 2022. Man, this one stings a lot. I'm not going to lie. Even though I was able to, hit my goals for the day, monetary goals and everything, even more than my monetary goals, these ones always sting when you don't catch the full move. Well, most of the time you never do catch the full move, but to not catch it like this always hurts because it's so clear to me, but I had things to do and I'm not going to make any excuses. You got to be able to see it before it happens. But, I had a good idea that I was going to see a good push down. I just didn't want to be greedy, but let's go ahead and start the trade breakdown for the day. Let's go ahead and take it back a little bit. We'll take it back to about 628. All right. So 628, let me just go ahead and show you guys what I was looking at. I seen here that we're still in an obvious downtrend, right? I actually just drew out this trend line right here that's coming from the top of these highs, right? So every time it hits this trend line, well, the trend line was created once this candle was stopped out right here, right? Then we go ahead and draw it out. But one thing I seen was price looked like it was coming up and somewhat it broke through the 50 EMA and 20 EMA, right? Pushed back down, so it kind of respected it, right? But then it really showed right here, yeah, it broke below it, on top of it, I mean, but it also was staying, it stayed and did what it needed to do in terms of keeping the zone pretty strong, right? This area pretty strong. So my thought process was it's possible for it to push down right here, or, it could tap this area again and push down again. I wasn't really too sure, so I actually had both the NASDAQ and the US30 charts up. They both had similar, moves today. But just to go ahead and focus on this, one thing I did know is that this area was respected before, right? It had been even respected here, support level, resistance level, support level, a little bit of resistance here, right? Resistance here. So I thought it was possible for it to do it again. So as we got closer to 6:30 open time, let me go ahead and show you guys exactly what happened. Let's just go ahead and get it in. So my thought process was either put a buy in or a sell in right here and write it down, or it was going to push up to the upside. I wanted to wait and be patient because at 6:30 you could see, let me actually show you right here, this first candle, 6:30, this first candle was too strong on the way up, right? I had actually put a sell in on the NASDAQ, a small sell in, just because I wasn't sure. I lost like $53 or whatever it was, and I think it was a 0.02. I lost like $53 on the NASDAQ. But one thing I did see, I had the 1 minute on both charts, right? And then I had the 5-minute NASDAQ because I was on it. But one thing I did see was a little bit of respect shown right here, right? So you could see price essentially, I didn't jump in quite at that level. Oh yeah, I did actually, because I seen the rejection here on my MT4 as well. And I took a look. I think there was another one up there. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, so I did hop on right here. You could actually go ahead and check out the my Instagram page at Day Trade with Zay. You could go ahead and check out the entry. It is there on my story. And we took the entry, right? Seen a beautiful rejection, right? This is 2 minutes, 3 minutes, right? Once I seen this double tweezer top, I was a little bit more confident. Next candle pushed down beautifully, right? So I had some confirmations that this thing could push down. One thing I wanted to see, though, was this resistance to support level, right? I had this level drawn out because it showed some strong supply and demand. And also the 50 EMA is here, and I like to use the 50 EMA in my charts, in my trades. I use it a lot, actually. So one thing I wanted to see is if it can break through this 50 EMA right here. And you could see the 1 minute, even the 5 minute, it's coming right through the middle. So this is complete consolidation right here, right? Complete consolidation. You see how the previous 5-minute candle ended, right? And going back to it, so we have a huge rejection. I'm seeing this. I have both, I have US30 up on all my charts now, the 1, the 5, the 15, and on 3 of my screens. So I wanted to see it break through here, right? And let me just show you what happened. We see a lot of respect. So I remember pulling half of my trade, I believe at 40 pips. So I had a 0.03 in there, pulled it at 40 pips, I want to say. And then, hold on, let me actually just tell you for sure. I don't want to lie to you guys here. So US30 sell, pulled a 0.03. What is that? 227.98, 168, 78, 88, 98, 208, 218. So about 60 pips I pulled that, right? So at about 60 pips I pulled that trade. And so that would be, give or take, about right here. I pulled it. And then I let the other half ride for a little bit. But one thing I kept seeing was that it wouldn't break through necessarily, right? So you could see, right, it faked me out a little bit, pushed up, but I still wanted to trust the trade. Gave me another little something, a little pump fake. That right there kind of told me, oh, it's coming down. Fully engulfed the candle. The only thing I didn't like was it's still following this 50 EMA line, right? I pulled more profits and more profits. I had another 0.03 in there, and I'll just tell you what I did. My position at 231, I had pulled at 158.66, so that was 72 pips. And then 231.48, I pulled again at 168, that was 63 pips. And then the last trade, I actually moved my stop loss just above these highs right here, right? So let's see if I'm correct. Yep, just above these highs is where I actually pulled my stop loss. So put my stop loss right here because I said if it's pushing past these highs, these wicks here, I think it's going to go ahead and shoot back up to this area at least. But I want to go ahead and secure profits. I want to secure my monetary goal for the day. So I made sure that 30 was going to be secured, right, with that last 0.01. And you could see what happens right here. Price essentially fakes me out again, but it's still respecting the 50 EMA. And you could see now it's making its way back up. All these rejections off of the 50 EMA, and then it made its push, stopped me out here at about 30 pips, moved up here, and it just made a humongous push. But one thing that is going on right here, I stepped away from it. I said I wasn't going to trade anymore. But one thing that I did see clearly after the fact, now that I've seen what happened to the market, is one thing that I was taught when I was learning this trading game is there's certain market structures that you have to go ahead and pay attention to. These certain market structures, it's kind of like a tried and true testament to what's going on, right? Because the market is based off of the past, right? Yeah, news, there's the fundamental analysis and the news that comes in, and when Donald Trump was speaking, it would go crazy. When Jerome Powell was speaking, of course we have those moments, right? But I feel like all these moments add up to what they're supposed to do on these charts and what the charts are telling us to do. So one thing that I had seen was that there was clear consolidation right here, right? You could see it perfectly. Let me go ahead and draw it out for you. It's even clear on my MT4, but we see this area here, right? Even down this way, you can see that it's a nice, strong area, right? We have all these rejections on this side, and then right in between here, let me go ahead and get another one for you. Right in between here, right? That's consolidation. However you want to slice it up, that's about from 1950 to 630. Well, let's see. I'm not good at math when we're doing all that, but let's see. That is about 10 hours and 45 minutes of consolidation, right? So one thing that market structure tells you is when you're in consolidation, obviously there's the higher highs and higher lows, but when you're in consolidation, it's really just sitting inside of a range, right? You got just bouncing in between these support and resistance levels, right? Just like right here, bouncing in between it. It doesn't always look pretty, but it's something like this. But what I was taught is consolidation, expansion, reversal, return to order, continuation to the downside. So we had a clear break of structure, right? Well, consolidation, expansion, reversal. Once it reverses like this, we have a clear break of structure, right? even on these higher highs that are created, higher highs and higher lows created here on the smaller time frames, like the 1 minute, one thing we know for sure is this low was broken by this low now. So now we know that the trend continuation, it's already was a downtrend. If you thought that it broke structure because it broke these highs, you're mistaken because now it's broken through it, right? So let's go ahead and speed it up and let me show you why I took this trade to the downside. So now price is moving up. I'm looking away from it, not really looking at the charts, especially at this time. Getting my daughter ready for school now. Whatever, right? Stayed away. I was happy I made my money. But after my daughter probably got home, took the daughter to school a little late. So probably got home about 8:10, I want to assume. But one thing that I did see, and I seen this on my MT4 as well, was this little sucker right there, right? This one right here. Let's turn it red, right? So we have this IOC right here. It's nice because we've already had a lot of rejections right here. Look at all these rejections at this level, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So this level is hot, right? This level is a supply and demand area that was previously used as support. So I noticed this on my MT4. What time is it here? So I hopped into this trade. I'll tell you exactly when I hopped into this trade. Let's look at the MT4. 231. I hopped into this trade at 451 at 1831. Damn, I don't know what time that is. Let's see what time it is right now. It is 22, or it's 23, hold on. 23:21 right now. 23:21 right now, right? Right? Something like that. 23:21. So that was 18, about 5 hours ago. Okay, 5 hours ago. Let's do a math. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. So 8:31 is when I hopped into the trade. All right. So let's see here. I wasn't looking at the charts at this time, but then I hopped on. I think that was it. Let's see. 8:31. Let's go to the 1 minute. I seen that respect was being shown right here, right? And I seen this candle. I used to think once you see this top right here with no wick, that means it's going to keep pushing up just like this one did, just like this one did, and just like this one did, right? There's no wick there. So I always think it's going to continue to push up. But what that means is that price is starting to die down in terms of usually you want to see a wick push up and then it'll come down a little bit, push up, and then it'll come down a little bit, right? Something like this. But I seen this like basically a flat top right here, key level, and 8:30, or maybe not. Let's see. 8:31. Let's see where 8:31 comes in at. Okay, so had to be somewhere up here. It was probably 8:21. I don't know. Let's see. Maybe 8:31 is when I actually pulled my first position. Let me see. I thought that was when I actually took the trade, but let's see. Oh, yeah. So right here. Yeah, actually I did. 8:31. So right here is when I actually put in my position, right? Put in my trade. And, yeah, let me go ahead and show you what happened. So I was just trusting this right here, right? And I knew my stop loss was going to be just above these wicks right here, about 41 pips. But I knew 100 pips was really a strong possibility. I even had my take profit alert right here when it hit. But I knew that price could actually probably continue up. But I jumped into the trade, right? Seen what, about 5 pips of drawdown so far. Walked away, set it and forget it, right? I was already in profit for the day. I put in a small position, a 0.02, and yeah, so you could see it barely had any drawdown, and then we got the big strong pushes to the downside. So from 8:31 to 8:40, 9 minutes we were in drawdown, but very little. You could see it was getting rejected right here, and then it made its way down. I pulled half of my trade at actually only 40 pips, so $40, and that actually was the one that took me up to the next $100 mark in my profit for the day. So I wanted to secure that, and then the next one I let run for another 100 pips, right? Had my take profit at 100 pips exactly. Didn't want to get greedy and said if it hit it, great. Move my stop loss to break even, obviously, right? That's the golden rule. Move your stop loss to break even. It either hits your stop loss or it hits your take profit. But as you can see now, price is really creating these higher high, lower low, because it's lower than this one on the small 1 minute time frames. Lower high, because it's lower than this one. Lower low, since it's below this one. And I was a little worried just because I seen that my time hadn't been hit yet. And I actually noticed this, that it was respecting this area right here. And I believe that's why I pulled 40 pips out of it. It was probably somewhere up here. And kept in the rest of the trade and then let it ride. So you could see that obviously price eventually hit my take profit. Made its way down, higher high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, right? So it's making its way down. Boom, I get my alert, look at my phone, made an extra $100, went to the next $100 mark in my profit, and I was happy. I thought there was a chance price can make it down to like this level right here, but I didn't really care. I just was happy that I was able to make that money for the day, secure those profits, catch another 100 pips. Essentially, we caught 72 pips here, 100 pips here, so 172 pips for the day. Great day, right? And I was stoked about that. Walked away. I had some things to do, had to go pay some insurance and blah, 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 blah. Walked away from completely from what was happening, right? And this one hurts, guys. Let me just go ahead and show you. Let's get out of here. Let's go back to this pattern, though. Consolidation, expansion, reversal, return to order, continuation to the downside. Consolidation, expansion. Are we in reversal? Let's go ahead and see. It's only about 1:26 Pacific Standard Time right now, so the market's going to start back up in about 30 minutes before it shuts down completely at 2 p.m. But let's go ahead and see. I mean, if I would have left this trade in, look at what would have happened here. It's pretty mind-boggling to me that I didn't see it. I didn't see this when I was looking at this. Even though I talked about it in my live stream, which you could go ahead and see, I didn't see this, and it hurt because look at this. Right? A huge push to the downside, and I mean huge, right? Go ahead and look at that. These are the ones that hurt because you caught what, 1/8 of the move, right? So even price still looks, all that exhaustion right here, this is live right here, right? So price still looks like it's about to come down, and you could go ahead and see for yourself from my entry all the way down, let's say to the low. Move this out the way. 785 pips. So I caught 100 of the 785. Now, I was profitable and all that is great, but I still see this as a loss because, well, I see it as a lesson, not a loss, right? I see it as a lesson just because I should have noticed this, right? This is my bread and butter, consolidation, expansion, reversal, RTO, blah, 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 right? And I definitely see this as a lesson because, you know, even though I just had a 0.01 in here, that's still $785 at the end of the day that I missed out on while only capitalizing. Well, let's say with the full position, which was a 0.02 micro lot, I missed out on essentially $1,500 if you look at it that way. I only made $140 out of the potential $1,500 that were available, right? Close to $1,600. And look at that. It is still moving down. So, you know, that's $1,600 potentially that you can make. I'm sure there's some pro traders that caught this, but, you know, it's definitely a lesson learned for me. I got to take this one down, put it in the trade journal, and really document this because it hurts. You know what I mean? It really does hurt. But, you know, we come back tomorrow. Now we're going to wait for the return to order up to either this ILC here, this ILC here, this ILC here, whatever we think is a little bit more clear. And we ride that bitch back down. So, you know, lesson learned. The confirmations were there. We had the market structure to do it. Key level, remember, at this point right here, from this high to this low, this was a beautiful sell-off, right? Golden zone ILC and push down to the downside. But yesterday I was actually trading NASDAQ. So I didn't catch anything here on US30, but it gave us an entry again, same level, couple taps, more than a couple taps here to show respect here. And then it gave it again and is pushing down 800 pips plus as we speak. Let's go ahead and see where it's at just for fun because it makes me mad every time. But let's see. We're at about 835 pips right now as we speak of where it's dropping. And, you know, the market is just a huge tank. This is about 2.3% for the day. It might show a little bit differently because the market was here, so we would see it from this level because this is 630. Let's see here. About, man, 1.4, 1.5% from market open, right? So, you know, we'll see what happens. This is live. This is what's going on right now to close the day, and we missed the trade, but it's definitely a lesson learned, and hopefully we can catch something on the rebound right here. But I truly appreciate you guys for tuning in. I hope you guys are able to learn from this as much as I did. And, you know, this is a lot of free game right here. So please go ahead and share this, subscribe to it, like it, comment it. If you disagree with anything that I said here, if you see anything that I'm describing wrong, go ahead and correct me in the comments. I'm new to this as well. This is just me documenting my trade journey. But I appreciate you guys. And thank you again. We'll go ahead and talk soon. Appreciate it.